as per the name itself, the concept name itself is name range. We are going to give a customized name to a data range, or let me say a range of cells. We all know what is a range of cells, right? It's nothing but a like two cells, like more than one cells, like more than one adjacent or neighboring cells, maybe across a column, across a row, or even combination of your rows and columns, but they should all be adjacent. So that's your name, that's your range of cells, no? Now we are going to give the range of cells a specific name. Now the name I cannot it's not that necessary that we are going to give the name to a range of cells only. At times it may be the situation or the question that we are really dealing with. Ask us to the requirement says that we are supposed to given the name for a single cell. That's also possible. Now, as in any particular cell, if I want to know what's the address means, I would have to go to the name box. Like say currently, if I am just going to click here, we are in G12 cell, right? That's your, as in the name of the cell or cell reference or cell address. We could give it the name as anything. But if I want to give it a specific name, other than the cell reference, I may do that. How? Just, I mean, whichever cell we are in, come to the name box, select that particular cell reference, given a new name. Maybe I'll just put it as empty. As of now, nothing is there. I'll just put the name as empty. So if I come over here, I can see the name as empty. It will always go and point to the cell which has been given the new name. Okay, this might seem a bit lame to you all, but never mind. I'll show you more examples to understand what is this whole name range. Now, you may see here your 4 columns are available and 5 records are there. A few employees, like 5 employees, their designation, what's their salary, and which department are they working in. Now, before giving a name range, I would have to say something like the names. If I have to mention like from J to Ajay, this 5 cells, as in what will we really say the date range as D2 to D6. That's what we'll say now. Instead of doing that, I can give them a name. I'll just select all these 5. Simplest way is I'll just come over here. I'll give it a name as maybe E name, either E name, like any name, or I can just take in this particular column name also as this name, doesn't matter. I'll put it as just name over here. Whatever was there as a column header, I'm going to put that and hit enter. Now, if I come over here and I just select the given name, the new name, it will point or it will select the cells which I have got the new name. Okay, that's what is a name range. Giving a customized name to a range of cells. That's one thing. Now, we may try this for the rest of them also. This giving a new name, there are 2 to 3 ways of giving them. Like just like we have inserting a table, we have got 2 to 3 ways of doing it. Now, one is a shortcut, Control T. Another is you go to the insert tab, you select table like that you have now. Then you have something like format as table. Then you have got a quick analysis, like almost 4 methods are there which you can utilize either of them to create a table. Similarly, to create a name range, I can utilize almost 4 of them. 3 to 4 methods are there. First method is the easiest one which I have given you. Okay, next one is, let's just given this particular range of cells the name as designation. First one I told you, let me show you the second one. I'll go to the data tab. Is it there? Oh no, I've come to the formulas tab, not data tab, formulas tab. This left hand side we have already seen, which is the function library. Just to the right hand side of it, you have got your defined names. You've got all these options. Let me show one by one. The second way I'm going to choose is define names. See, define and apply names. Click on this. Now it tells me the name as manager. Name, I don't want the name as manager. What I want to do is I'll just delete that. I'll give the name as designation. Next is scope as workbook. Okay, you have got different scopes. Like if you have scope as workbook, the beauty of it is I am going to define the name range, or I'm going to give it the new name in this sheet, in this name range called sheet. But I'll be able to access the name from anywhere in this workbook. Maybe from another sheet I can access that name. I can access it from a new sheet that I might create in the future. Wherever it is, that's what meaning of scope as workbook. This entire workbook is its scope. Second is if I keep the scope only as my name range with formulas, means I can access that name range only in this first sheet. Third is if I keep it as name range, that is where we have defined it, only there I can access it. Just see the options. Okay, as of now I'll go for first one, which is by default. And the last one over here is, I'll show you the rest of the two. We have got two more namings now. I'll show you there. Last one. Okay, if you see out the comment is nothing but a small documentation kind. If you want thinking like this is the name range given to the like cells from E2 to E6 from this particular sheet, something like that. If you want to put as a comment, as a, or maybe as a small description for you all to identify later, you may do that. Last one is over here is refers to, basically which cells are going to get this new name. Okay, which cells or which values, and where are they available? They are available from E2 to E6 in this particular sheet. That's why the sheet name, then exclamation marks, sheet name is enclosed in single quotes, then exclamation mark, and then the range E2 to E6. If I just say okay, the new name has very well been created. Now we had created empty before, we had created name before. Let's try to access it from a new sheet. I'm going to create a new sheet over here. Just a second. Okay, the new sheet over here. I'm just like we all try to access the table name using equal to table name. If I do that, I can access it from anywhere, because even table names, like the new tables that we create, it can be accessed from anywhere within that workbook. It's like a global one. So same way, equal to, if I put it as empty, it doesn't have any value. That's why it's giving you 0. Okay, but from here, if I come to the name box and click on empty, it will take me to the location. That's the beauty. Even the same case happens for a table also. When from the name box, from that menu, if you click on the table, if you select the table name, it's going to take, maybe I am there in some nth sheet, I don't know, or maybe some 10th sheet I am available in, currently available. And from that name box menu, if I select the table name, it'll take me to the table directly. Same thing is happening over in the name range also. But here we are trying to refer to the value. That's what we are doing. Say equal to, another was name. Here we are again referring to, if I want to take, if I want to really go to the location where the I want to really go to the actual name range, or let me say the location where the values are available for that particular range, I have to do that from here. But if I want to refer to it, or if I want to access the values of that name range, I can just say equal to that particular name range. Same way, equal to designation. Clear? That's what is the benefit, or in fact the scope as workbook is default option in Excel, and that's the best way. Is it okay? Can I move on?
Okay.
I've just selected salary over here. One, I showed you from this name box, the defining name. Second, I went to this particular option, define name itself. Third, I'm going to go for my name manager. It's like just we have our, from a conditional formatting, we do have a manage rules, no? Wherein we can add any like a new rule, we can add a new rule, we can modify like edit rule, we can delete them. Similar way, the name range, you have got a manager over here, wherein you can create a new name range, you can edit the existing one, and you can delete also. I want to go ahead for a new over here. Okay, see, by default, it's coming as salary. Even if it doesn't come, just mention the name that you are really going to give, like whatever is there in your mind, given the new name. Scope, now let me not keep it as workbook. Let me keep the sheet where it is actually defined. We are in the name range sheet, where I have kept the scope as name range. Comment I'm not giving. And name range, the refers to is F2 to F6. F2 to F6. Let me just click on OK. And the new name range called salary is being created. Okay, let's understand that particular scope. Let's see one more example, then I'll come over here for a few more things. Okay, here, if I come and just say equal to salary, I am able to access that. All good. Even in here, if I select this, it will be very much taking me to that location. But let's try to access it from elsewhere. See, if it had been available, like if the scope has been workbook, it would have shown me as a suggestion. Here and all it was coming up. Now I didn't have to type in the full name. I just have to do DESC, SI, it would show, it was showing me the suggestions. Here, it's not even coming up. Even if I put as full salary also, maybe if you're thinking that like case sensitive, it's not a case sensitive, don't worry. Even I put either ways, I put with a capital S or I put it with a small s, it's not available. Reason being, the scope is not workbook, it's your name range. And if you see over here, you won't see the one as salary. It's not even available because its scope is name range only. What about this particular one, existing one? Here also you won't see it. No. Again, if I try here also, it won't show me up. Because the name is not available, that's why the error, hash name error. So clear with scope? Okay, so we have defined for the three name ranges we have done. Let me go to the name manager over here. What is it really saying? First one is the name, the new name or the customized name. Second is the value, like range refers to is there, which is going to give you the cell references. But what is available in the cell references being shown up in the value. I can make out that very well. Yeah, we can make out that. Refers to, we have already seen, it's nothing but the actual cell ranges, which is getting the new name. And what is the scope? Only this particular salary was your name range. Rest all were your workbook only. And comment, we haven't given any comment, like no documentation or something we haven't given. If we are given, it would apply, it will be very much shown over here. Okay, the name manager, new option you have seen. What about editing? Salary one is scope is not workbook, na? Let's try to edit that. If I go to edit name, editing a name range, only two options are possible. You can just give it a new name, maybe just can alter the existing name, or you can just change or alter the cell range. But scope part is grayed out. If at all you want to give the new scope, like if you want to change from name range to workbook, only option is you delete this name range and create a new one. Only at that time you will be able to give the scope as like a new one, not over here. Like editing options, in editing you can edit the name and you can edit the range. You cannot edit the scope. Okay. So if I go cancel, let me go in for delete. This is going to delete my name range. I deleted it. Let me go for new. Okay, it's salary, workbook now, and refers to F6 to F2 to F6. Now if I say okay, they see the workbook now scope is now updated to workbook. If I go to sheet 1, now it doesn't show me hash name because that salary name is now available. Also in the name range box, I can just click on that, like I can select that name range, it will take me to the actual location. Same way, if I go to this area also, I won't see that hash name error. Here also, I'll be able to see that in the drop down. So are you people clear with that scope now?
Yes, ma'am.
See, I may not be here. Okay, I will come very less time to this particular area. So if at all any doubts or anybody has typed in, please let me know. Okay. Fourth one, department. I'll show you the fourth method of creating a name range or defining a name range. First was our name box. Second was this define name from formulas tab. Third was the name manager. Okay, you have another thing called create from selection. I'll show you that. For create from selection, I'll just select this entire one along with the header. I'll go to create from selection. It just by default shows me like create names from values in the top row. Yeah, I want to create the name from the value in the top row. You have got your left column, bottom row, right column, every option is there. But this is the most appropriate over here. If I just say okay, I didn't have to mention, like I didn't have to manually type my name. I didn't have to mention my scope. Nothing. I didn't have to even say which range we are giving the new name. Nothing we had to do. Okay, but by default, the scope will be workbook only. Okay, the fourth one is create from selection. Now, create from selection, you need not, like I showed you for one range, you can create names or you can define names for multiple ranges at one shot using this create from selection. Maybe you're not able to understand what I'm trying to say. I'll show you that. Maybe at that time you'll understand. And I'm just going to delete these. Okay, now none of them will be there. And you're seeing a hash name over here. Every other place you'll see a hash name because all those names, name ranges have been deleted. Okay, now let me select this, all of it, whole of it along with headers and the actual values. Now I'll go to create from selection. Create names from values in the top row because my top row, whatever values are there, I'm going to use them as my names for the creation, like for defining the name ranges. Left column is not needed. This will be at one shot. Yeah, all of them. You click on it, it will just highlight that area. That's it. And it will be by default workbook only is your scope. This part create from selection, you can go in for a single range or multiple ranges at the same time. That's there. But then multiple ranges, if at all the records are just the same, like the, I mean, records, or I mean, in short, like these values, five values, you're seeing only all five, equal number of values in each of the ranges, it's much more easier. But if it is like a bit of mismatch, say, I given my name over here, I'm not giving the designation, I am giving the salary over here, and department also is not there. Okay, if in this kind of a bit here and there, then how will you go in for create from selection? I'll just show you 1 minute. I'm just deleting all of these. Okay, it'll be a bit of tricky, but okay, you might not try, you may or may not try, it's up to you. I'm just going to show you. This is a normal mouse selection only. I haven't left the left click or like left button of my mouse. The press is not gone. It's still there. Holding that press or holding to the left button of my mouse, I'm just going to press on control key. Okay, from the keyboard. Then I release the mouse. My control key hold is still there. I haven't left it. Now my mouse, I'm going to use it. I'm going to select each of this now. Second selection, but do remember your control key hold shouldn't be off. After all the selection is done, I just now left the hold from my control key. And now I'll come over here. Yeah, it does very much happen. Now, if you see the salary, new value has been added up. Okay. You may give it a try. Just it's a combination of your control and your like, see, first selection, you go in for a normal mouse selection, however you'll do it with the left button. Just go ahead with that. Don't leave the left button hold. While keeping the hold, go on and press your control key from the keyboard. Once the control key is pressed, release your mouse. Then go ahead then use your mouse again to select each one of them. After all the selection is done, release your mouse and your control key. Both of them you release. Come over to this create from selection and do the, select the first row, click on OK. You are going to get the whole thing. Okay, clear? Or you want me to show once again? I can do that. Is it okay? You want me to repeat or shall I move on? Okay, is for repeat, Akshay, or move on? Okay. Now, we have seen how to define 4 ways I've shown you. Renaming, okay, renaming is nothing but you have this 1 minute. If I go to the name manager, if at all by this any of these ones which I have already defined, let me go to edit. I told you we can just change, or we can just edit or modify only the name part and your refers to part. I can give it a new name. Instead of this depart DPT, I can give in the full name. That's it. Okay, this renaming is this much only, no other thing. Create from selection also I showed you. Deleting name range also I showed you. These first 5 of them done. Now, what is this use name range in workbook? That also we have done. But then using it, yeah, using in true sense, I have not shown you. We have just seen that the scope is workbook, all good. But have you been, I don't know if at all you're, I mean, have you, during this time, did you even wonder why this name range is required? Anyone? Did you really think about it? I'll give you a simplest example how I can use it and why it's going to be really helpful to me. Had we been using a table, we can just refer to the table name and column name to apply some aggregation. Yes, we can do that now. We can just apply SUM on that column name, job done. I'll find the total value. But say suppose in case of my name range, I mean this normal range of cells, I have to go and specifically select the range of values. Only then I can go ahead and apply the SUM and all, right? Because the range of cells is not global. It's not that a scope is not entire workbook. But my name range is entire workbook. The scope is workbook. How can I utilize? Say for example, I want to find out the total sum or like sum of salary call. Like there are 6 salaries now. If I maybe want to find out the total salary, or maybe I want to find out the average salary, I need not be here. I can be in any other worksheet or sheet. I can just do one simple thing, equal to SUM, open my bracket. I need not go there and select like manually. I did not go to my this particular area. I can do that. It's not a big deal. I just select here. But even if I select this range, the name range only appears because salary is now like a scope is workbook, like a global for this whole of this workbook. I can access it from anywhere. I need not, the best part is I need not, I mean, I could have gone for this directly. I could have done this directly. I need not go to that actual values. I can just refer to that name range. My job will be done. Say if I want to find out the average value, I can do that. Just given the name, salary, close, job done. So just like tables are very, I mean, if the data is in a table format, to find out your aggregates, you have got your total row, job done. Or maybe if I want to write something manually, okay, I need not like select that entire range of cells. I need not do that. I just need to mention the, like after the aggregate function within the brackets, I'll mention the table name and specific column name within that square brackets. That's what we have been doing. We haven't seen that. I've shown you that examples over there while you were discussing the table references. In case of your ranges of cells, a normal range of cells, name range is really good because I need not really go to like manually, I need not select the range of cells where to whichever cells I want to apply the aggregate. I need not go there. I can access that same range of cells elsewhere from any other sheet. If I just remember the name that's been new name that's given to that range of cells, that's more than enough. Example is very much in front of you. I have easily found out the average salary. I have even found out the sum of the salary. Yeah, all okay? In fact, that's what is even defined over here. This particular name range with formulas, that's what is being done. How we are going to use name range and functions and formulas? How we are going to do that? There are two name ranges already defined over here. One is text, these values. Another is numbers. And these functions we are going to apply. First one, SUM on, okay, SUM is specifically for numbers only. You cannot find SUM for your text values. Like here, numbers is nothing but the name range. So I'll show you. SUM. Even if I manually select, it's going to pop up the name only, which has been given to this range. If I do that, I'm going to get the total value as 126. But in case, if instead of numbers, I'm going to select this, which is text, I'm going to get 0 because SUM is very much applicable on numerical values only. Because the prime purpose of using SUM is to add up all the numbers in a column. Okay? Clear? Okay, next example, minimum. Minimum function is MIN. It's going to return the smallest number in a set of values. It ignores logical values and text. It is going to ignore. Okay, I am not going to go ahead directly. I'm going to write the name, job done. And yes, 10 is the minimum. Maximum, max, MAX. But I have to start with an equal to sign. Returns the largest value in a set of values. Ignores logical values and text. Even min and max is going to be applied on a number only. Okay. Say if I change this to text, it will show us under, nothing else. So some minimum, max, and even average, you will see it is going to be very much applicable on numerical values only. Average is 14. If I select all of this, I do see average is 14. But if I try to find out the average of text, it will give me why? Because average is actually your sum divided by count. How is even if you want to find out the average of three numbers, what will you do? You have to first find out the total of those three numbers and then divide by 3. Like the count of values is 3. So here count is going to be 0. So anything divided by 0 is division by 0 error. That's what is div 0. Clear? Are you following me? Okay, so the first four that you have seen, the 4 aggregates, they are all on numbers only. Next comes over here as count. Count, there are 5 variations. Here I have shown 3. We'll get to know two more when we actually go to the aggregate functions. Okay, basic count is just going to count the numbers in a range. See, counts the number of cells in a range that contain numbers. No other. So I'll just put numbers. It will count for me 9. All good. But if I try to apply count on this text values or the text name range, it will give me 0. Because count is specifically for counting the numbers only. Count the number of cells in a range that contain numbers. Okay? If I just change it back to numbers, my job is all good. I'll get 9 as the value. Okay, first variation, the most basic variation of count is nothing but to count numbers. Okay, next one you're seeing is count A. Count A as in count all. Okay, what does count all do? Count all will count the number of non-empty cells in a range. Let me put count A. See, counts, or let me show you here. Counts the number of cells in a range that are not empty. Okay. When it says that it's not empty, it hasn't specified anything about the number formatting, like and nothing about the data type. So in short, it doesn't matter whether you're trying to count text value or you're trying to count date or you're trying to count number. It doesn't matter at all. Only thing that matters the most is the cells, the range of cells which we are really intending to count. It will just pick up the cells which have got value, as in to say which are not empty. If there are any empty cells, it won't consider it in the counting. Okay, let me show you that. Now, if I just come over here and put it as numbers, it will give me all good 9 because all of these 9 cells, they had values. If say suppose instead of this, I pick up this header also, which has got that numbers as my header, D4 to D13, it will give us 10 numbers, although a text value, but that cell was non-empty. It had a value. Doesn't matter which particular data type, it has got value. So it will very much consider. But say suppose it's your D4 to D13. Let me just increase this D13 to D14. D14 is empty. Let's see, it's going to consider or not. Let's just see to it. 1 minute, sorry. Yeah. It has not considered. Ideally, how much is the count? This is 10 plus 1, 11. Although in the range there are, I have selected 11 cells, but only 10 cells have got values. The 11th one is empty. Count A won't consider empty cells. It will just consider the cells which have got values. All okay? Count A.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Count blank. We have count blank is just to count the empty cells in a range. Count the number of empty cells in a specified range of cells. So say suppose I can give any of them, like I can try it out. If I give this, it will give 0 as the answer. You are seeing that because there are no empty cells. But if I increase the D13 to D14, it will give me the answer as 1. Because in that range, the last one, D14, is empty. Okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Since we have seen 3 variations of count, I'm going to ask you a question. Now here, okay, we have the ranges of one range is all about numbers, one range is all about text values. What if I try to calculate, I want to count dates. Which of these I can use? Say I am going to write here. Okay, I've got some 10 dates. How to count that? Which of these count variations you think is going to be appropriate? One or maybe two variations, or maybe all of three of them I can use. What is your opinion? Count, basic count is for numbers. Count A is for all data types. Only criteria is it should be non-empty. Count blank is only empty cells. Okay, I'll give you a hint. Count blank is not applicable. Now think and let me know whether count or count A, either of them you could use it over here, or I can use both of them.
We can use both of them.
How are you saying that?
Because the count function is counting only the number series and values. If in case like if does not have any value means we can use that count blank, and counting the number date is like a number now, so we can use count function. For
Okay, I
example,
can
if
use count
we
function. Okay,
yes,
count
we
function
have
is going
only
to
10
give me the
values.
answer. Just repeat about count A. What did you told? Count, I agree, sir. Your date is nothing but a number. Correct only. I can use count.
Yes.
What did you tell about count A?
Count A, I'm not sure. Count blank also we can able to, because it's only calculating the blank series now. If in case out of that 10 order, 5, that means it will show like one blank item is there. So count
I
blank
don't want
also
to
we can
use
able to
count
use.
blank. Count blank I want to use. I may use only when there is a blank
So.
value in that, right? One or more blank values in
Your
that
voice
range.
is
Count blank if you use on this range, sir, it will give you 0. Moreover, no use of doing that. This is going to give me 0. But my intention is to find out the count of dates. Okay. You told me we can use count. That is very much true. I can use it. I'm going to get the value as 10. Is this clear for everyone? Okay. Akshaya says both. How do you say both, ma? If you're saying something means give a reason for that. How you're saying both? Count, I agree very much. What about count A? How it is giving me the answer with count A also? Yes, correct. Count A, the main logic of using count A is just to, like the purpose of using is to count the non-empty cells. It doesn't really really focus on what's the data type of the selected cells. It doesn't really focus on that. So count A is going to very much count the number of dates that we have just selected. It is giving me the answer. Clear everyone? How count and count A, both of it we can use to count the number of dates. In fact, I can have a range of cells which has the combination of all three, like text value, date, and numbers. All three, everything can be there. I can count all three of it using count A. Is that clear? Okay, two more. We have seen minimum and maximum values, right? Your min function we have seen and max function. Min function, what do you think is actually happening in the background? Here, okay, the numbers are already in sorted order, all good. But if at all it's not in sorted order, means if I have to find out the minimum value, means Excel will at the background, Excel is going to sort the numbers in ascending order and pick up the first value. Similarly, I ask Excel to find out the maximum number, means it is going to pick up, it's just going to sort the numbers in descending order and pick up the first one. Seems logical what I'm talking about? The min and max functions. Okay, I'm assuming it's making sense. Now, same way, maybe if I'm being asked to find out the second largest, okay, maybe I'll put it as maybe second largest or second maximum. Second maximum, something is not being very much used often. The word that is being more often is second largest, third largest, similarly second smallest and third smallest. Not only second, third, any other value smallest, or for that matter largest. We can use two functions over here as small and large. Now say suppose I want to find out the fifth smallest number. There are two arguments. Let me open fx. Returns the kth smallest value in a data set. For example, the fifth smallest. So what's the first range is, I am going to pick up numbers and then I'm going to say whichever k value, say 4. I was telling you 5, may 4. If it's 4 means the value is going to be 13. So if I use instead of 4, if I put it as 1, it is very much similar to min function. Anything other than 1, if I want to find out as the smallest value, I can use small function. So it's going to return, the purpose of using small function is just to return the kth smallest value in a range of cells or in an array. It won't give me. Because small and large has been applicable on numbers only. As simple as that. See here also they say array is a range or array is an array or range of numerical data for which we want to determine the kth smallest value. Numerical data. So small is going to be applicable on numbers only. Just opposite to that is your large function. Returns the kth largest value in a data set. For example, the fifth largest number. And again, array is an array or range of data for which you want to determine the kth largest value. Again, it's only numbers. I cannot put text. Okay, it doesn't matter about the, it's not a case sensitive. I can very much go ahead with a capital or small, doesn't matter. I can even try with small. Okay, maybe third largest. If we sort this range of numbers in descending order, my third largest would be 16. That's what is even given here. Anything other than 1. If I use 1, it is very much similar to max function. Is it all okay? You're able to follow how the small and large functions are being, what's the purpose behind using them? Any questions for me? Okay, with this, the name range is done. Okay, one thing I was telling you that I could give the name not necessary to a range of cells. I could give a name to a single cell also. Say here, we had calculated the average salary, na? Say if our average salary or even the total sum of salary we have calculated. If I want to this refer to this value, 1,53,000 elsewhere in the workbook, I can just come over here and give it a name. Say total salary. I can just come over here and just say equal to total salary. So you could give a name to a single cell also. Yes, need not be all the time to a range of cells. You could give the name to a single cell also. Clear? Okay. If no doubts, we can wrap up. We are done with name range. Tomorrow I'll talk about yeah, I'll come to the data tab. We can see what is, you've done the advanced one. Yeah, we can see what is data validation. Okay, data validation is nothing about, nothing like, it's just about, not nothing. It's about validating the data that has been entered onto a sheet. Like not only a sheet, like a range of cells or any particular cell for that matter. It need not be a range of cells or any cell for that matter. I can validate the data. If I want the data, if I want the other person to enter only dates, I can make him to like enter dates only, that too in a specific range, like that too in a specific bound of values. That's applicable for a text value, for a number value, even for a dynamic list of it, like a customized list also, I can create using a data validation. Just to validate the data that's been entered onto a cell. That's what is a data validation. It's a very powerful tool in Excel, especially when you want to create a drop down list using a data validation. I'll show you tomorrow.
Yeah.